I'm here in one of our Tru Kava warehouses, and guys, this is where the magic happens. This is where we're producing the gold standard of what's going to be the future of non-alcoholic and social tonic beverages in America and internationally across the world. Not all kava is created equal. Look, there's no doubt kava is one of the most unique and incredible plant medicines in the world, but most people actually don't even know what it really is. We see the name everywhere in capsules, pastes, and liquids and tea bags. We see it in health food stores, mostly in a form that's called kava, which actually, as you'll learn, is not true kava by definition. So let's just backtrack. What is true kava? What is kava? Kava is a stress-relieving nootropic drink that's prepared from the roots of a plant that grows exclusively in South Pacific Island cultures in a part of the world we call Polynesia. And in those cultures, it's basically like the social glue of the entire cultures. It's actually been used for over 3,000 years in countries like Fiji and Vanuatu and Tonga and Papua New Guinea. And in these countries, they consume it kind of like we do coffee or alcohol. Think of any context where you'd go and get a coffee with someone during the day or go out and get a beer with someone at night. In Polynesia, that would be kava. They use it for weddings, funerals, spiritual ceremonies. They use it for social gatherings. Basically, any context in which people are coming together in a community or individual setting to try to reach an elevated mental or an emotional state, to de-stress, and just connect authentically in a group or individual setting. It's really so much different than any other substance in the fact that it's not actually an altered state like alcohol or even like coffee. Whenever you consume it, you just feel more grounded in your body. You feel more authentically connected to yourself. You feel more relaxed. You feel more expanded. You feel more connected, again, to yourself and to other people. And you feel more creative. It really is almost kind of like the perfect, like naturally, truly authentic flow state. In that sense, kava is really nature's original social tonic. We always describe the experience as a calm, enhanced state of natural sobriety, a kind of hyper sobriety. So when people ask me, is kava a drug? Not only is kava not a drug, it's actually like an anti-drug in that way, because it gives you what people really want from alcohol and other illicit drugs, anti-anxiety drugs, but without any of the downsides. So no addiction, no hangover, no toxicity whenever it's consumed in its proper whole food form. It's actually kind of in its own category as far as a drink or a psychoactive substance. But here's the problem. Most of what people call kava on the market today is actually not kava by definition or composition standards at all. It doesn't qualify. It's not the real thing. They're distilled, diluted, solvent-based extracts that come from the kava plant, but only carry a small fraction of its true therapeutic efficacy and benefits. So most of what people are seeing and trying in terms of kava is actually a cut down diluted substance that is more of a kava mimicker or a kava-like product. But these extracts are far easier and cheaper to manufacture and mass produce, so that's what you get. Which is really sad because it leads a lot of people out there to think that the benefits of kava are really just hype and that it doesn't actually work. The actual definition of real kava is the water and pressure extracted drink or tea that's produced from the roots of this amazing sacred plant. So kava really is a whole food like coffee, matcha, or cacao, but it heavily relies on its full entourage of active ingredients and constituents to get the full benefits and effects out of it. In fact, up to 90% of kava's effects can be totally eliminated whenever you extract it with these crude chemical solvents. I always kind of tell people it's what people really want out of alcohol, but they get alcohol instead with the side effects and all of the BS. And that's where the magic is in this. Tru Kava is the first truly traditional kava product on the market. It's shelf stable with only one active ingredient, and that's real traditional kava, stabilized in a can. We're truly setting the gold standard for what kava is going to be in the marketplace in the coming years, and captures it in a format that's super convenient. You can use it any time of the day, and it tastes great. This is true innovation. We've commercialized our own proprietary process of producing traditional kava at scale, using our own supply chain of carefully curated, noble kava varieties that are grown and matured for at least 5 years before harvest and are never sprayed with any chemical pesticides, herbicides, fungicides, or other industrial chemicals. Then we carefully vacuum seal it in our partner facilities in the islands. And then we import tons of that sustainably harvested cultivar material into the United States in its whole root form, so we know exactly what we're getting by strain. Then we take those cultivars and mass produce true traditional kava, using only water and pressure for the extraction process and zero chemical solvents whatsoever. And every single batch is third-party lab tested for both industrial and biological contaminants. That means heavy metals, pesticides, herbicides, mold, bacteria, and even plant defense compounds from unconsumable parts of the plant like leaves and stems. This is truly kava as it was meant to be, just reimagined for average, everyday people with busy lives, busy work schedules, and that just want to be able to grab something and take it and get the amazing benefits of something natural without the side effects of something toxic. So it's really not just a product, it's a ritual and an experience. It relaxes you without dulling your senses or sedating you. You feel more social, more connected, just like more of yourself. Which is why kava has always been synonymous with authenticity. Unlike most functional beverages or substances that you kind of have to take on principle and don't know whether they're working, kava gives you that tangible effect that actually helps you embody the most authentic version of yourself, which is just super amazing. And what's super interesting and unique about the natural chemistry of kava is that it actually works better the longer that you use it. In other words, there's a cumulative effect that builds over time. That's why I always tell people when you first try kava, take the 30-day challenge with it, because instead of down-regulating and depleting your body's own stores of its feel-good chemicals, it's actually working with the body to help wake up and upregulate the restoration of your feel-good systems. We call that reverse tolerance, really the opposite of what you get with any synthetic substance, or especially with alcohol. So not only is kava not a drug by definition in the sense that it doesn't elicit toxicity or habituation or that kind of synthetic off altered state that people get, it actually is an anti-drug that actually helps to restore the most authentic version of you, which is honestly just super amazing and truly unique for a drink. I honestly can't think of a single substance that has more benefits and less drawbacks than kava. And that really is the thing that sets kava apart, is that it's not a guilty pleasure or an escape. It's a tool for optimization and expansion. And so when I started Tru Kava, it was not at all just about selling a product. It was about helping to make a positive impact on culture. So if you're as excited as me about this and want to help support the Tru Kava movement, definitely give it a try and make sure and subscribe and hit the notification bell. Thanks, guys.